Okay, today we are going to talk about how to become a storyteller in your writing. So we're going to talk about how to show the different parts of a story instead of just telling your story. Think of your favorite story. What made it interesting to read? So why did you like that story? So was it because of the characters? Was it because of the action that happened in the story? So hit the pause button and take a moment to reflect on a sticky note about your favorite story and what made it your favorite story. Okay, so now you've had some time to think about your favorite story. So, some of the things that make a story interesting to read are those stories that have some action in them, have some drama. Our characters talk and we can connect with our characters, and our characters show emotions that we can also connect to or relate to. So whenever we're writing, we need to make sure that we're not just telling different parts and scenes from our story, but we're letting the readers actually feel the different parts. We're letting them see the different scenes. And that is if you show the readers how the characters are acting and feeling instead of just telling them. Think of the story of the Three Little Pigs. So, I'm going to give you two different versions. One version is like a summary of the Three Little Pigs, and the other version is a part of the story. So, the Three Little Pigs, it's about three pigs that build their house out of sticks, straw, and bricks. A wolf comes by and blows down the straw house. Then a wolf comes by and blows down the stick house. Then the wolf tries to blow down the brick house where all three of the pigs are at, but he can't do it. That's version one. Version two of the story. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So then the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, until he blew the house down, and the little pig scurried away to his other brother's house. That's version two of the Three Little Pigs. So, take a moment to pause and reflect about what you think the difference was between those two versions of the Three Little Pigs. So, hopefully you enjoyed the second version of the Three Little Pigs instead of the first version. The first version of that story is more of a summary. It's just skimming the basic part, the basic gist of the story. It's not giving you many details about the pigs or about the wolf or about even the scene. The second one is giving you more detail. So it has some action, it has some dialogue of one of the key lines of the Three Little Pigs is, and he huffed, and he puffed, and the not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So having that dialogue and that action helps you relate with the story. It helps you connect with it better. It helps you also visualize the story better. Even though right now you don't have the story right in front of you, you can probably visualize the wolf and the pigs and how they are acting and interacting at that scene of the story. So your story needs to have action, dialogue, and emotion. And remember, dialogue is when the characters are talking to each other. So look at your story map that we made last week. Choose a scene from that story that you had kind of jotted down to plan your story. What you're going to do today is you're going to get with a partner and you're going to tell your scene just as a summary. So you're going to tell how you want that scene to kind of play out, not giving very many details. And then you and your partner are going to add emotion, dialogue, or action to your scene to create a more powerful scene. So you don't want to tell the scene anymore. You want to show it. You want to make the reader be able to feel and see and visualize what's happening in that particular scene. After you do that, you're going to read this new scene to your partner and you're going to ask them for feedback. So how could you make it better? Did you have too much? Did a part not make sense? And so on. But the main thing that you're doing is you want to tell your scene as a summary, and then you want to add some of those details like emotion, dialogue, or action to the scene to make it more of a show and not tell scene. So go ahead and hit the pause button and complete this part of the lesson, and then we will come back together in just a little bit to kind of regroup. Okay, so today you have learned about using more show and not just telling the story in your writing. So we want to be storytellers. We don't want to just be summarizers of a story. We want to really tell a story and capture our readers' attention. So today, during your writing time, I want you to choose a scene from your story and begin writing it as a story with action and drama and not as a summary. So we've already started working on one scene with the partner. If you need more time, go ahead and continue working on that scene. If you finish that scene, then choose a different scene from your story map and start working and adding more details in that to make it more of a show and not tell.